Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Graham's Garage. And today we're going to be doing the wheel bearings on my 99 Jeep Cherokee. And this is with the Chrysler 8.25 differential. It's a little easier if you don't have this one, but this one's stronger, so. Anyway, these are the steps we're going to be taking. So let's get started. Alright, so to start, we're going to remove the differential cover. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 13 millimeter bolts. Let's take your socket, loosen all those up. This is also how you drain your differential, if that's the thing you want to do. Okay. So these bottom ones you're going to want to take all the way off. Because we're going to be cracking open the bottom of this cover. Grab your handy dandy screwdriver and hammer, or chisel if you actually have one, but it's not a very common tool. And once you break the seal, you get the beautiful sludgy waterfall. It smells great. Nothing like some old gear oil. Now, part of the reason I want to do this too is to replace this cover, because this these seals, or this fill plug, never really seals right. You can use a bunch of RTV, but I'd rather have a metal one. There we go. There's the inner magic of your differential. Notice all the RTV from the old gasket. So while you're in here, you can look at your gears, and mine look okay. They're there, so that's good. I haven't gotten any noise or vibration or anything with the rear end on this, so I'm not too worried about any issues. Okay, now once we're at that point, I need to figure out what to do next, because I've never done this before. So at this stage I would recommend scraping off the old RTV, just so you can have a good seal when you put your new RTV on, or a LubeLocker Gasket, as I'm going to do. And you just do this to get a good seal. I like to do it when I have the drain pan under it, so I don't get all this crap everywhere. Also, yeah, put a cloth over the gears so you don't get a bunch of crap in them. Note on any time you're working with a gasket surface like this, always go around the circumference of the surface, because otherwise you could create gouges that go parallel with the radius, and if that happens, then you could create a channel for fluid to leak out, and that's not what you want. Alright, and just for kicks, I'm going to get some sandpaper and do the same thing. Alright, so now our next step will be taking this little tiny bolt, little tiny 5/16 bolt out, so we can get this pinion shaft out. Now, On mine, this was like towards the back or towards the front of the differential. So what you can do is you can just put the car in neutral, or I suppose park might work also, and then you turn the drive shaft to get that to be where you want it. I tried it without doing that, and it was a nightmare, so I definitely recommend doing that. Oh, okay, let's take this guy off. You want to be careful not to use a ratchet such that you can't take it off. I've done that before. And it's kind of awkward because then you have to put the whole freaking thing back on. Or tighten it and then loosen it again. Alright. That's that guy. I'd recommend keeping this in a place where it won't get dirty. Which for me, I'm outside. Put it up there, I guess. Okay, now the pinion shaft needs to come out, and I've never done that before, so just like, oh, that's pretty easy. I'm gonna go the other way. Bingo. I say to replace these if they're worn, but this one seems fine, no gouges or anything like that. Okay, so now let's move over to the wheels. Whee! All right. So I have drum brakes on my Jeep. You most likely do too. I don't think that Chrysler axle had disc brakes, but anyway, just take your drum off. I just replaced these, so kind of want to make sure that everything looks okay. And then actually want to push your axle in as far as it'll go. See that, how it kind of just goes free willy? Push that in. Do the same on the other side. Good time to change your drum brakes if you haven't done that already. Actually, I noticed looking up here, you can see a bit of gear oil. So it's probably good I'm doing this, because I bet my seal is totally trashed. I know my bearings are totally trashed. So, hey, look at that. A little C-clip fell out all by itself. Not 100% sure where that came from. Let's figure it out. Well, oh, I see. Let me show you guys. C-clips come out of right there, these little grooves. And those are the ends of your axle shafts. So at this point, put you back on, should be able to slide your shafts right out. Just slide them out. Rolling, rolling, rolling. I'm gonna put these where they won't get too dirty. All right, so now we see the bearing and its little seals right here. You can see these guys. Doesn't look too bad. Not as bad as I thought it would, but I think they definitely need replaced. So let's do that. All right, so at this point in your life, you're really going to want a slide hammer and a bearing puller. So I tried this first with this little pilot bearing puller, and that didn't work. It pretty much just shattered the whole bearing, so that's bad. I also tried this. That was too big, so I ended up going to Napa, picking this guy up. I'll link it in the description for you, and I think this should work great. We'll see what happens. So I've never used a slide hammer before. It's pretty straightforward. It's a hammer that slides. All right, let's do some hammering. So here's your C-clip. It's back in there. You know, you push the axle in, put the C-clip in, and then you can just with your fingers push this back into place. Trouble I found out I came into was when I got back in here, these two gears had fallen out, and it took me a little while to figure it out. But essentially, to get them back into place, you rotate the whole assembly so that these two gears are catty cornered. Stick them in there, and then rotate the whole thing back so you can get the pinion in place. So anyway, that took some guesswork, but I did it because I'm a smart human. So now you check to see where your bolt hole is for your pinion shaft thing, pin dealy. And then, so mine's up there, so I'm gonna rotate, oh shit. I'm gonna rotate the carrier. Okay. Alright, now let's see if this little buddy goes in there. Yay! We did it. Okay. Okay. And put your bolt back in. Alrighty. Now we can put our cover back on. Alright, so if you're just using your old differential cover, you have to scrape off all this excess RTV, clean it real well, and then get some RTV sealant and just kind of go around the middle, around the holes, middle, around the hole, middle, around the hole. Stick it back on there and tighten it up. I'm kind of an overachiever and I hate doing that, so I got a new differential cover which has a higher capacity, better cooling, easier to fill, and easier to drain as well. And this also won't have that stupid rubber cap that'll leak. And rather than go with RTV, I went with a LubeLocker gasket, and so that should make installation pretty easy.